EYL. Yeah, we're talking about this dude who does these little short, not only how short, he does these videos on socialism. He's like this very stoic young white boy. He's got like 11,000 followers on. Again, they might put up a little bit more material than we do, but y'all can do better. We can do better.
And some of them, and if we're talking about the same one, the socialism dude, they are also not monetized on YouTube. So they really push that because whether they're doing clips or the content itself is not, because it is true that as bad as it was for us and is for us, and that we were definitely targeted, we're not alone. And there's even some white folks out here that they don't want to monetize the content because it's too left. And so they push heavy on the Patreon. And I think he does that. And I do want to say, while we're here, I had another discussion with Brother Ntume, and I can't say any more other than to tease and say, please, if you are not a Patreon member now and have ever thought about it, maybe on the fence, this is the time to start moving over and coming on over to the winning team, because in addition to all the other content that's going to go there and whatever else, there is something very special on the horizon here. Very, 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 very special. And it's going to be in partnership with us. And so I know how it sounds. I don't, the vagueness, and I'm not thrilled with it because it's super exciting, but please consider joining up so you are right there ready when this next thing happens.
Oh, y'all hear that? Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna drop that link in the chat too. 502 paid subscribers on Patreon. Musa points out a good thing that they treat it like a job, and y'all need to start treating it like a job. Like in terms of giving us money, y'all need to start treating it like it's a job to do that. So I just want to make sure that the context is understood. Y'all need to start thinking about
in the job dynamic. I'm sorry, what side of the equation are we on? If the audience needs to treat it like a job, are we the bosses or are we the worker? I'm confused.
Man, I'm not putting us in the worker class right now. The workers are the chatters, the people in the chat, the list of the audience.
It is true that a lot of these folks, this is their job. And for most of us, if not all of us here, this is in addition to other jobs and other things. So 12 jobs, 13. Elon, thank you. Please tell folks who Mtume is, Jab. Thank you. Mtume Gant is a brilliant film studies professor at Purchase College in New York City. And we've done a number of, I think, some of my favorite discussions on film and cinema and its history and its radical analysis. And he checked me on my American Fiction mistake. So yeah. Oh, wow.
Someone said, do we have to wear fishnet pantyhose, Kamal? Just to,
Oh,
I mean, that's kind of old school, so I wouldn't make you put that on, but we'll find something appropriate in the wardrobe for the work. Also, I was going to say the dude on the Socialism channel, he's the one that did the education stuff. He did the stuff on education. I think y'all played a small clip of it.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. It's
the same dude. It's the same.
And it's something. He's an overt socialist, and I think over time he's even moved more to the left during his. And that's when I caught one of his videos talking about, look, the more I do of this content, the less I can work with YouTube. So please,
Yeah. I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole. I looked at a couple of his videos, and they were good. They were well produced or whatever.
They're very well produced. Absolutely. Yep. And that's the other thing. And a lot of these folks, I don't know about his operation per se, but a lot of these folks, they hire multiple editors. They have little staffs and teams. Admittedly, I think it would be wonderful if we got that. Wow. Okay, my bad. All right. I'll just stop there.
What happened?
All right, let's get to somebody put up a breaking news. I assumed it was Ear Doctor telling us to move on. So, all right, I'll stop. Right. I'll follow instructions.
Who got some news stories? So we're gonna start with the DNC. Y'all got some other stuff y'all want to do, but
I think we should. I missed most of it.
It just started.
I mean, most of the discussion from last night, that is.
Oh, well, I don't think you missed nothing. I'm
we
not
do.
watching it. Well, I was not interested in seeing Joe Biden get his fucking curtain call. Fuck you, dog. I hope you drop dead on that goddamn stage.
Oh,
Sorry, was I not supposed
allegedly,
to say that out
allegedly,
loud?
allegedly.
Well,
No,
I didn't think I didn't want
no.
nobody to Tommy Crooks him, but I wanted Jesus to just take the
Damn,
wheel.
Kim.
You know what I'm saying? No, come on. Y'all, we is of the same generation. We know what Joe Biden did to us and to people our age. And to hear them say, "Oh, Joe Biden is the greatest president I've ever seen," what the fuck are y'all even talking about? Greg, what did he do? He locked up my whole dating pool of Gen X men, loaded my people up with records and put them in jail for Steeds and Sims. Dog, fuck this nigga. Like, I hope Joe Biden has a painful expiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Try not to get another strike.
What are we getting a strike for? Look, y'all
That's
can
literally
say
what we
violence
got a
all you
strike for
want.
or got a warning for the first time. That
Oh.
that it's not a disagreement. It's the overt
Phrasing. It's a phrasing.
calling for.
Jesus, I'm
and
calling for Jesus to take the wheel.
Mhm.
I don't
Well,
want
that
nobody
when
to
you
tell
say
me-
it that way, that's a little better.
that makes more sense.
That was at the first statement.
Oh, well, sorry. Well, anyway, Jesus, like I said, I hope Jesus come take the wheel. Like I said, I ain't wishing Tommy Crooks on the nigga, but it's disgusting to me to see all this celebration and lauding for Joe Biden as if he was some great statesman. And maybe, I guess, on behalf of white supremacy, he was a great statesman. Maybe on behalf of white supremacy and making sure that Black folks and poor people end up in jail. Yeah, I guess he was a great president. For enabling the genocide against Palestine, I guess he was a great president. But it's nauseating and it's disgusting. And for everybody that gets on that stage or everyone that is in that hall in the United Center clapping for the genocider in chief, please mark their names, mark their faces. Don't you ever forget who stood there and gave Joe Biden a goddamn standing ovation.
And
Our
one
enemies.
one of the ones, the so-called leftist House of Representative AOC, who's now fully in line. So she saw what happened to Corey. I guess she saw what happened to what's the other brother's name? Bowman. So she is now fully in lockstep at the convention praising Biden. So let's take a couple of seconds look at it.
Not elected. Republicans have attacked me by saying that I should go back to bartending. But let me tell you, I'm happy to any day of the week because there is nothing wrong with working for a living.
Yeah,
Talk
but
about
bartending is hard. It's not about it being bad or a negative or a blight. It's just to say that bartending is way harder than being a congresswoman or a college professor.
And them drinks ain't gonna pour themselves.
Shout out to the bartenders. I mean,
Yeah, but no shout out to AOC though. We don't.
No,
shout out
no, hell no. No, my point is she's taking advantage of the fact that of we who have tended bar to seem like she with us.
Yeah.
And
so she did
you
that
not
for
like
her
us.
Yeah, she did that for a whole presentation, praising Kamala Harris, praising Joe Biden. And again, I pointed out only because she was, deemed to be the lefty sensation a few years ago, who was an outsider within the Democratic Party. And now she's fully ensconced, fully knows her place, got a prime time slot at the DNC convention to bring over her constituency to make sure that they're fully supportive. Claimed that Kamala was attempting to get a ceasefire, which was her only reference to what was happening in Palestine. So I just think she's one of many who, in terms of taking names, that folks should have been clear on beforehand. But if they're not clear on before, she's fully shown herself to be a worker, a valuable worker within the Democratic Party establishment, not an outsider.
Nah, we're gonna be able to push her left, Kamal.
Push her. You know what? Let me shut up. Down some stairs.
All the lefts.
Who else spoke? It was Joe Biden. Who else got up there and talked? Was it the Clintons? Was the Clintons on there last night? Hillary.
I didn't see. They might have been. I was going to play the quick one with Biden up there too, with Biden being led to speak or whatever. And let's see. He's not. Obviously he was already pushed on stage and pushed off stage at the same time. You can say. So let me get the sound.
Oh my
This
God.
is Biden's intro. His farewell.
Leave Jackie Wilson out of this.
Thank you.
His farewell. His swan song.
Ooh.
After being pushed off the stage. Kamala has never been happier in her life.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I actually think he took a shot at her during this.
I know he's taking a shot at Pelosi. He is not Pelosi. Are they probably going to give us? Probably going to give us some good news.
The excerpt I saw, he said twice. He said Kamala is a woman of tremendous integrity. Tremendous integrity. I said 2 times tremendous integrity because one of them you probably didn't mean that one. That was a little bit of sarcasm there. So acting. It is tremendous acting from these politicians.
Oh, definitely. That's clear. And her pretending like she isn't exuberant and thinking finally. But yeah, this is a mess. We had a good first day debate. I had a young sister in class yesterday surprise me. I had to check myself and apologize because I was sure she was gearing up in a challenge to another student in his expression of an unwillingness to vote at all. And she went into this thing, and I was sure she was about to tell us to vote for Kamala. And then she hit me with and said, no, I'm voting for Cornel West. So I said, okay, well, that's interesting. And then there was a nice little debate around that in the class. So make sure everybody watches this clip right here. The hangers on for Joe and Kamala and the Dems.
We don't get a lot of that. I mean, I think we get some of it here. Obviously, Kamala and Joe Biden were just at Prince George's County Community College, and the crowd erupted in a unison chant of "Thank you, Joe." I almost threw up when I saw that. But I think some people may disagree, but I think in Maryland, because our electoral votes here are inconsequential, right? It doesn't even matter really who you vote for. The Democrats are going to win. So I think there's a little bit space here for people to openly say that they're going to vote third party and may not receive the kind of condemnation that others may get in say Pennsylvania or Michigan or Wisconsin or one of the other more contested battleground states. Now, I was talking to a couple of my friends who are successful liberals in the Philadelphia area, and I could already see. I said this is going to cause fissures amongst some of my relationships because I was like, y'all, we can't just be giving Kamala our vote because just because she's not Trump. That's not a good enough reason for me to vote for her because she's not Trump. And then my homegirl was like, well, I mean, I can't not vote for her because I can't vote for Trump. I can't have Trump get into office. And I'm like, y'all, we have to be able to broaden enlarge our scope a little bit and to be a little bit more politically sophisticated. Like we cannot just be handed over our vote just cause she's Black woman, just cause she's not Donald Trump. If we're not getting anything in exchange for it, then we're stooges, we're pawns.
That's why when I was going down to my Rolodex this weekend, thinking about who I would invite to my little birthday gathering next month, it was like the list was short. Because I was like, I don't want to hear that from them. I don't want to hear that from this one. I'm not listening to that from this one. We're not doing that on this weekend. So it's just gonna be,
the third party is
all
looked at,
gathering.
the third party is looked at as a wasted vote. That's what people say.
But
so yesterday I told the students the same thing that Kim was saying, particularly for those voting in Maryland. And I said to same thing. Inform yourself of these other campaigns, at least make yourself aware of what they're arguing and the differences so you are clear on what you're doing. And then I said, you might as well. And then I said specifically for Claudia and Karina, and I said, who actually have found a way through the Electoral College to actually win. Not whatever, but that in other words, when people come up with you're wasting a vote, you're absolutely not. particularly in that case, and particularly if you're in states like Maryland. So, I said we might actually be able to use the Electoral College for good for the first time in world history.
I mean, I wanted to be behind the uncommitted movement, but they also are solidly this mushy in their politics. I guess is the best way to say it, where they saying uncommitted, but they're claiming they're trying to extract things from the Democratic Party, and it's like you're really not extracting anything because at the end of the day, again, I think I spoke about this briefly last week. One of the folks who I guess is one of the chair people got up and said, that Kamala was very like empathetic when they started telling her about what was happening in Palestine. It's like, and for like the 2-minute conversation as she was passing her by, most likely, I assume, that she read so much into what Kamala's answers and responses were. So they're going to pawn off, and some of them are there. They got like 30 something delegates, so they're there trying to get a spot speaking where the Democrats have completely denied them. It's like, you're not speaking at the convention. We're not going to allow that. Like, what is wrong with you? Where they're trying to push for not only a ceasefire, but an arms embargo. Where, and again, the Democratic Party has said to them straight out, it's like, no, that's not happening. But still, they're not saying, well, okay, if you're not meeting those demands, then we're telling our constituency to not vote at all, to sit it out. Where in Michigan, that could have an impact, right? That could very well have an impact on the outcome of the election because of the amount of the Arab and Muslim population in Michigan. But no one wants to use their power in a sort of whatever power they think they might have in a defining moment of breakage, right? It's like, we're going to break away from this party, to let the chips fall where they may. We've survived Trump before. But even if you are somebody who, unlike myself, but you think the U.S. democratic system or election system, I should say, holds some promise for some tangible results, then you got to be willing to go all in and play the game. And when I say play the game, I mean you got to be willing to say, if we can't have our demands met, then we're not going to use this quote unquote power to further your aims, and sit it out and let it fall while it may, and then see what happens next, right? Because if they lose, and they lose because they didn't come to you and give you something that you said that you wanted, then they know next time that they're gonna have to come back and give you something you wanted. At least you're now having a conversation about that. Right now, you're playing a losing game, and they already know you're playing a losing game because they know that all that uncommitted stuff is just like, yeah, you uncommitted for now, but in 5 days you're going to be back, because you always come back, because you're back every time we tell you to come back. So I know you.
Sorry, my bad. I know you want to play this clip, but there are a couple very interesting comments that I think we should address maybe after this, if you get a chance. But and I'm trying to highlight them. I see them. This is, okay. But I don't want to keep delaying.
Real quick, I'm not even. I just want to give a little bit of his speech and what he said. So let's do that now.
Wow.
That is bananas.
Wow. It's shameful. It's really gross.
To my dearest daughter, Ashley.
Oh, Lord.
God love you. You're incredible. Thank you for the introduction and for being my courageous heart, along with Hunter and our entire family.
Ooh.
Hunter.
And especially our rock, Jill.
That's what he said, I-Rock.
Yeah, he's
For those of you who know us, she still leaves me both breathless and speechless.
No.
That's called age.
I love her more than she loves me.
No, I know people his age way sharper than that.
She walks down the stairs and I still get that going boom, boom, boom. You all know me. No, I'm not kidding. Let's give a special round of applause to our First Lady, Jill Biden.
So obviously the Democrats were right to push him the fuck off the center stage. No one can't say they were not right.
But at what point did they know that Joe Biden was like this? You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like how if Joe Biden is not fit to run for president, then he's not fit to be president, right? Isn't he currently the president? How long has he been in this condition and just
Mhm.
been propped up and shot up and given the meth and the coke and whatever and to keep him activated? You know what I'm saying? Like what
I
kind of
agree.
These
what
are
kind
always
of
the fundamental questions, right? When did you know?
That's right. When
How do you, what did you know? And when did you know it?
But who are the real puppeteers here? Who has
Mhm.
been pulling these strings? You know what I'm saying? Like who has
Yeah,
anyway.
they know, and they've known for a while. And I
Mhm.
completely and again, like and the media covered it up for a long time.
Yes.
The media wanted to act as if somehow what was they at one point I heard something that was like claiming AI video and other things like that. So the media actively covered up the fact that this person could not get words out, was obviously in a state of senility or headed towards there. And again, it wasn't until that debate where it could no longer be hidden at all because he had to stand there for 45 minutes, 2 hours, whatever it was, an hour and a half, and actually present something that it became crystal clear that it's like, okay, the show is over. Like, you know what I mean? The curtain has been opened. They cannot proceed with this person because the American public is now fully, not out of clips or what 5-second clips, but they fully seen this guy demonstrate that he's no longer coherent enough to play the role that someone like him plays within the larger U.S. framework. So
Showed at the NATO summit when he introduced Zelensky as President Putin. I said, wow. I said, wow, wowzers. That and that was in front of his friends. I was in front of company at the NATO summit, right? Like, so all the international allies was in town to see Joe Biden doddering about and not being able to distinguish, I suppose, in that moment, Zelensky from Putin. Of all people, I'm gonna miss these little slips of the mind here from Joe Biden, I must say. Like, as much, and even if Trump loses, a part of me is gonna, I might even miss Trump a little bit. I can't even lie because it's hilarious. Now you want to pull up something hilarious. Pull up Trump's rally because with Trump, he don't know what to do about Kamala. He is so disappointed that he can't call him Crooked Joe, Slow Joe, the worst president. Now he's coming up with Kamala-nomics and coming up with all kinds of stretch. And Trump obviously never sounded great to begin with, but I'm like,
And
Trump,
telling black people
you can
she's
make this
not
a
black.
race. Well, I know. Well, but that's for white people though. He wasn't telling that to an audience of black folks, right?
He did. That's what he was saying at the NABJ. That was the whole thing. That's why he walked off the stage, because he was trying to tell them she's not even really black. Why do you like her so much? You should be rooting for me. But we can distinguish whack DJs and whack morning shows from our DJ and our morning show, so we can bring the ear doctor back up.
Bam. Hey, but I know you have some of those questions you wanted to hit up, Jared, that came in the chat room. But we could do that if you want to right now before we get to the break.
Oh, all right, sure.
Go ahead,
Sure. So there were a couple. Let's see. So Musa and Ricky were letting us know that the non or uncommitted group did announce yesterday that they have a panel at the DNC and that it's going to involve Keith Ellison, which is wow. And then this one, I was actually hoping that we could discuss a little bit this morning. So Pookie Wood says even Nora Erakat was a possible Green VP, wanted the Green Party to support Kamala if the Dems called for a ceasefire. Then the Dems yesterday released that platform attacking Palestinians. And so there was that, controversy of Nora saying I would have been the Green Party VP with Jill Stein, but I would want the Green Party to step back and support the Democrats if they put up a platform for a ceasefire. And there was from my vantage point on social media, like an eruption where even members of the Green Party were saying, please leave Nora alone, like stop harassing her for saying that. And, we don't all have to agree, but, and then of course, the announcement of Professor Butch Ware
Cassidy.
No, don't disrespect a brother like that now. Come on now. I'm forgetting his name exactly. I admitted I don't know him. 100,000 followers on Instagram, though he has. So, you know, which I thought was interesting.
And
But
he
anyway,
was
so
the presidential pick for Jill Stein.
for Jill Stein, yeah. I can't remember. Yeah, Butch Ware. Yeah, Professor Butch Ware. And who I've heard nothing but good things about. But I just thought it was interesting that Nora would encourage a Green Party to step back that way, which I wouldn't have agreed with, but I you know, I don't agree with that tactically. And it also spoke to me about why the Green Party continues to be where it is. They keep name chasing instead of building from within. You know, you got people like Angela Walker. I don't know why they wouldn't have thrown every effort and resource behind keeping her in the mix, for instance. And others who were in the party doing that work. And then instead of trying to grab celebrity or a bigger name during an election cycle, that's why you run into these kinds of conflicts. Because of course, Nora is not traditionally a Green Party supporter. So why she would be thinking on the tactical level about her most pressing issues, obviously the genocide in Palestine. So even where there's disagreement over what she would have been suggesting with the party, that's really the party's fault. That's you keep reaching out that, you know. So I just thought that was interesting. I just yeah. So I wanted to just raise those with all of you, all of you.
All right. Well, that's what it is. We're right here in the good old US of A, where we vote for.
We'll come back and talk about it after the break.
Apparently.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know you was about to raise the question. It was
that's what you said. All right, my bad. Go ahead, man.
No,
good.
My bad. Well,
no. I'm saying I thought I was going to wait till after the break. Then you said do it now, and then you said let's go to the break. So then
I don't know.
It's all good. If nobody wants to, we don't have to chat. I just want to raise it. We don't have to keep going. It's all good.
No, I want to, but let's do the break and they'll come back and we'll pick back up on the topic.
Okay, we'll do that.
I'll help produce this segment right now.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I need a little help sometime. Right here where we vote for mascots for corporations. Let's go. Remix Morning Show. Oh, yeah. Let me get it sexy for y'all right here, right now. Welcome to the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go to patreon.com. Become a member over there and get footage that's rare. Also, please share like you care. Go to our website and donate and don't play or hate. All right, boom. I just said it because it rhymed. All right, let me talk about an artist spotlight. Who are we talking about? You hear that music in the background. Let's talk about Keith Sweat. All right, let me tell you about Keith Sweat, also known as Keith Douglas Sweat. He's a singer, songwriter, producer. He came out during the whole New Jack Swing era. He got some big hits talking about I Wanna Make It Last Forever, as you hear right here in the background. I'll give you all my love. I'll give all my love to you and make you sweat. Twisted, Nobody. He has like 13 solo albums and 2 albums with his supergroup LSG. He also discovered the group Silk and Cut Close, coming straight out of Harlem, New York. He first started off working in the stock exchange, you know what I'm saying? Doing that, and then he started working with a band back in 1975. God damn, how old is Keith? 63. Okay. All right, well, yeah, he was rocking out with a band back in 1975 called Jamila. And they did a thing for a bit, got on an independent label, put out a couple songs. But then he came back in 94 and started with his solo group, his solo act. In 1987, he got his contract and he started making his first debut album, which banged everybody in the head. He got all types of Soul Train awards and everything for this because nobody was coming with it like this. So he did that. He came out with his next album, and then Keith started working with putting other groups out. Like I said, Silk. He also helped out Cut Close, and then that's when he got with his super group after he put out another album, LSG, which was him, Keith, Levert, and Johnny Gill. Now he was doing this for a while, and he also has his own syndicated radio show called The Sweat Hotel. Now he's came out with so many different albums. you can see he's still going and still touring. He also has some kids, and he was also once married, as I know Ricky would love me to point this out, to the Real Housewives of Atlanta star Lisa Wu Hartwell, which she had 2 sons with. All right. That is your boy. He's been in a lot of films, New Jack City, Love of Money, all types of TV shows, Martin, the Wayans brothers. So he's doing this thing and continues to do it. Big up to Keith Sweat. And with that said, let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show. Yeah.
Hold me, squeeze me,
Chillin'.
Come on.
There you go, Kamal. You finally got Keith Sweat. There it is.
I was going to say, and you didn't do justice to Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat was a phenomenon, my man. A phenomenon.
I just gave him a couple points so you can continue. Y'all can continue.
I'm just saying, Keith Sweat should be like, if there's I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame, the bullshit Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but if there's a Hall of Fame, Keith Sweat should be in any musical Hall of Fame there is. Dominant.
Well,
is you okay, Kim, over there with the faces?
I'm sorry. Am I making these faces in real life? My bad.
You're making them in real. What are you trying to say about Keith?
Hey, his last album in 2000 was called "Didn't See Me Coming," and nothing came off that album, so we didn't see it coming.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Nah,
that was the song you put on, Romance. Bam.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Him and Albie Shore was going neck and neck.
And Albie Shore only had one good album. I mean, that's not comparable.
That's true. Very true.
Keith had bangers. Keith had bangers.
Keith had a lot of bangers.
Yeah, bangers.
He actually had a lot of bangers. And, shout out to all the young folks with us that was born in 1988, 1989. You guys are Make It Last Forever babies. So there you go. You should go visit that album because you were conceived to that. And for Keith Sweat to have came out with that breakout debut, the late 80s, mid to late 80s, the R&B field was extremely crowded. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of R&B groups, solo acts, men and women, and Keith Sweat was able to stand out. Now, from my perspective, Keith Sweat is an artist who really managed to maximize, dare I say, his limited vocal ability. You know what I'm saying? Like, Keith ain't Lufa out here, right?
Yeah.
So
I agree with that. No.
It was because of the New Jack Swing, the beat. He had people able to dance to his music, just like Guy had some songs that you could actually dance to. I would say the New Jack Swing era.
Was he known for dance songs?
Well, I Wanna. I play that when it comes to dance.
Right.
I feel like, Kim, you're right with the limited vocal range, but the distinguishable,
very
much boom, and that you knew it was Keith, and people wanted that. It's like Al Green. Al Green, who has more than
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Only in the sense of Al Green's register. When we hear Al Green, Al Green. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying Keith can sing like Al Green. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. And I know it's a different era too. Mm-hmm. But I just mean distinguishable, bam. When you hear Keith's voice, that's Keith Sweat. And
GM says he was a great songwriter. Did he write most of his songs?
Yeah,
I don't know that.
He wrote songs for him and other people.
Joint. Well, so he had some questionable joints. Okay, so right in a wrong way. You may be young,
but you're ready. Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Ready to learn. You're not a little girl. You're a woman. Take my hand. Jesus, God help us. So what else? And then Make You Sweat. You say no. I say yes.
Oh, damn.
Girl, I bet I can make you sweat. We had some questionables. But bangers though. What's the other joint? It's on the debut album, Air Doctor. No, it's on his first joint.
Nobody.
No, on his first album, first album, he had joints like Make It, I Wanna, I'll Give All My Love to You, Make It Last Forever.
What is the joint? It is How Deep Is
Your Love? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yes, you're right. That shit was hard.
Woo! Yo love. Sorry.
All
yes.
Right.
There's a Dutch volleyball player in the Olympics right now who was probably listening to Keith Sweat because he had been previously locked up for the R word of a 12-year-old when he was 19, did some time. The Dutch said he's rehabilitated and he can go ahead and represent them in the Olympics in volleyball.
It's amazing how that works. Amazing.
And when I read the story, the part of the prosecutor had to point out that this was not even some spur of the moment, because the defense was trying to make it like, oh yeah, but it was just no, dude chatted her up, traveled from the UK, from the Netherlands to the UK where she lived, took boats, planes, and trains, went all the way down there, and then got caught because after the night, the event, told her, go to the pharmacy and get the day after pill because I didn't have a condom on.
Damn.
And when she went to the pharmacy, they were like, why are we doing this right here? Hold on a second. I'm telling my story. Then
that was me.
They tell her,
messing it up.
they tell her that she goes to the store and says, I want a morning after pill. And they're like, you're 12. And then that set the trail, afoot and led to him being caught, convicted, incarcerated, apparently rehabilitated to the point where he can compete in the Olympics. And yeah. So, and then meanwhile, she felt guilty and self-harmed because she felt guilty that she got him caught. Can you, I was just like,
no, that's a terrible story.
So yeah.
My only thing is the Keith Sweat segue.
You're right.
I was like, wait a minute.
Okay,
I was totally
that was
lost.
my only part.
Well, because Kim had brought up, the whole context.
No, I know.
It's all in the context of Keith Sweat, though, Jared.
I was wondering.
You laid the context. Kim set the context.
I took a ticket to the train. I was like, where we going?
And let's remember,
Let me hit y'all with some other
Keith would not condone. Keith would not condone. As a public personal spokesperson for Keith, he would not condone said acts and or actions. And when he said young, he just meant like, she was 20-something and he
said he might have been listening
Yo,
and
he was
misinterpreted.
he was in a band in 1975, y'all.
Listen, y'all, if you was born in 1988 or 1989 and your daddy is 10 years older than your mama, Right in the Wrong Way was on the radio. if your mama was 16 when you was born and your daddy was 26, Right in the Wrong Way is how you got here. So,
All right. Well, there go your music.
Ear Doctor, LSG, Levert, Sweat, and Gill. Can we big up to the
wow.
real quick to the gods? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My body all over your body. What a jam. So big up to Can we get you already done Gerald Levert, haven't you? Or have you?
Nah, but big up to all those who tuned into Classical Breakdown. We did 1989. I believe we'll be doing
part one.
Part one. We'll be doing 1996 this Thursday. So tune in. All right, peace.
And by the way, for everyone that appreciated Classical Breakdown, shout out to my brother, the Ear Doctor. I'm trying to get us, I want us to include some regional joints because in the 80s and 90s, Black music was very regionalized, right? So I need some help. So my Go-Go All-Stars, can y'all send me a message and help me remember what Go-Go songs was percolating in 96? My Baltimore Club heads, send me the joints. My Chicago house ends, my Detroit ends, y'all Bay Area All-Stars. Because y'all gonna hear some No Limit, and Ear Doctor I know knows absolutely nothing about. I won't say nothing, Ear Doctor, but we playing some No Limit for 96, my guy. We playing some UGK for 96, my guy. We playing some 8-Ball and MJG for 96, my guy. It's happening. We're not doing this whole New York only. We ain't doing New York only.
Bro, I mean, that's the centerpiece of music.
It is definitely not, but
But so I want to only, before we get back to the real topic, so the age thing within the appropriate levels, me and my wife are 8 years apart, but she was in her, I think Edgar was in her late 20s when we first met, whatever like that.
Yeah, it's where you start.
it's
Yeah. Okay.
No, you can't, because obviously
That man was sweating over there.
No, the age range in the story I was bringing up is because she was 12.
Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah. Of
Not
course,
even that he was 19, which is bad enough, but that she was 12. That's the reason. If they meet when she's 28,
everybody's an adult.
Kumail was Keep Sweating.
Oh, Camus.
that's a 50 Cent line. I have keep sweating, staring down the barrel of my 9. Remember
Oh,
that?
I do remember that. I do remember that.
From Rob the Industry. That was
Mhm.
Oh,
I
How to
still think it's
Rob.
the best entrance into the rap game of all time. I gotta give him that.
Well, Phineas,
I
yeah.
think
Yeah,
I
he
just
came in and
loved it.
destroyed, nigga. Yeah, he came in and destroyed motherfuckers.
It
Oh
was
man.
calling out everybody.
Mhm.
How fat Joe
One of
gonna
the
catch
only
me,
fat
son?
jokes that made me laugh when he talked about Robin
Yeah.
Timberlake and Missy. He was like, "You give up the loot, the other one put the hot dog down," or some shit. This nigga Curtis ain't shit out here. Curtis ain't shit out here. Wow.
I was damn near 300 pounds when that came out, and I was even laughing at that. So I was like,
Oh my God. I happened upon a video of this is the Real News Network when they did the whole police brutality in-person thing in DC or Baltimore. They had the studio. I was there, and then we had and you and Yusef, Jared, were in the audience, sitting next to each other, and you were a little plumper back then.
yeah.
First thing I was like, oh my, Jared had a little more extra weight on.
Oh no, all that. So wait a minute. First, the first.
Do you
Are you
remember?
saying? No, are you saying that the Real News allows video to be up with me in it at all?
Yeah,
That's
you're there asking
fascinating.
a question. There's you and Jared. Again, I mean, you and
They
you
took
sat
all
next
my
to
stuff
each
down.
other.
That's deep.
But
Okay, all right.
that's a montage. That's not because
Oh,
they
I know
couldn't-
it
they couldn't
wasn't.
clip that one
Yeah,
out.
yeah. No, I know. That's what I was like. I thought they were scraping the files, get rid of all of it.
They're like, we can't do it. You had an African print shirt on. You looked great,
Yeah,
but you was a little.
that was the worst part about losing weight. I had to give up all of my African press and fly. Yeah, but I was.
Jared
big-
was the fourth member of the Fat Boys, but he became vegan and they kicked him out.
You came back for that. You came back for that one. You came
He
back.
sure did. A couple
He did.
times.
He
He
did.
waited. He was
I know,
like,
it's pretty
I got to get this joke off. Yeah, yeah.
Jared wasn't that big.
Well, as I told my daughter, who's about to get dropped off, first year next week, I said the reality is I started with the freshman 15 and kept going. And that's just the reality. And I did have to even say, like I've even told her, like, notice already, as soon as you stop, all your high school level activities, you're not doing ballet, you're not doing, and you have no ensconced or institutionalized workout regimen. That's how it starts. That's exactly how it starts. And then you end up going to college where there's no activities that you're bound to or have to do, and I just kept going. Beer, pizza, and a bench press. That was my whole undergrad. I was like,
But you look great. I just saw you, Jared, a week ago, and with the 6'4" frame, 6'4".
oh no, I'm like 6'2". I think I've shrunk to like 6'1.5". I think
You got a
all my
wingspan,
spinal.
though. You're very broad shouldered. You come across
Yeah,
as
yeah.
a big guy.
Yeah, I thought you were taller than 6'2".
Well, I told Kamal that's my plan. Just get real big, and then now that I'm just smaller, people just assume that I
You
look
get taller,
better,
man.
and
Yeah,
all
you
the
look
other
taller.
and all the other flaws just seem to be reduced and diminished in their emphasis. But yeah, no, it's just rough. That's why I'm like, I wish I would have started much earlier.
All right, we
speaking
got
of
one news
flaws-
story in.
All right, my bad. I have a story. I'm
doing it.
waiting.
I
I
was
actually have a
segue.
story. Good Lord.
No, before you do the story, though, I wanted to talk a little bit more about Nora, who I don't know that well,
Mhm.
in terms of her politics and stuff like that. But I thought it was interesting because that's one of my complaints about the Green Party. It feels like every 4 years, the Green Party does a lot of work around building up for these presidential races or picking people to be on their tickets and having some fanfare around it. And then I feel like I never hear from the Green Party again, or never hear about the Green Party again. Now, I'm not sure that's all their fault in terms of I don't have my ears to the ground, but it doesn't feel like, unlike the Worker Families Party, right? And it's a different party, different money involved, different connections to the Democratic Party, where it feels like there's there's just more activity. And it feels like the natural, no offense to anybody else who's doing work out there today, but one of the natural third parties that should be getting bigger as time has gone on. but I felt has stayed in my estimation, feels like it stayed in the same place for like the last 20 or 30 years, is to me like the Green Party. So, and I think that goes back to what you said, is like they chase people. I mean, Cornell was one who just didn't want to put in the work. Cornell wanted to have the Kamala thing where he was just anointed and he didn't have to go back and do no voting, no primary, no speech. He's like, I got time for all that. Just give me my due, because it would be me anyway. And because they wouldn't do that, and he just broke out or whatever. And then they went back to sort of, Jill Stein is an excellent candidate, but sort of Old Faithful was like, let's just get Jill Stein one more time. Who has sort of a built-in audience. So that's one of my things about the Green Party. I remember Bruce Dixon used to always be in my ear about the Green Party, and my response was always similar. So where is the build out and the mechanisms here in Georgia or other places where you can see the aftermath of the presidential races doing something for building up the party and the policies and so forth? So I just want to get that out.
Did something change in the Green Party structure post those two Nader presidential runs? Because I did vote Green Party. I voted for, he ran on the Green Party, right? Shit. Bad. Okay, so I voted, we voted for Ralph Nader, and Ralph Nader got on the debate stage, and it seemed like there was some upward momentum there, even from the, 2000 election and then the 2004? Yes, right? Because Nader had two presidential runs, right? So
and then he even ran again in as an independent, looking for the Green Party support in 2008. Yeah.
And didn't get it, right? They moved on. Right. So what happened? I mean, what changed? I know that's a very broad question, but
I'm not an expert, but from my vantage point, there was like almost like a split in the Green Party, with those who were the Naderites and those who would eventually, particularly when Cynthia McKinney got the nomination in 2008, there was this big split, and people were furious at this Black Pantherist, type militant coming in here, and we should be courting Nader and supporting Nader, even if he's not with the Green Party per se. And I remember even being at a debate panel with him and in San Francisco. And my humble argument was, if you're gonna run, why not run on the Green Party and help build the party? Because to your point, they don't. Which I wasn't even really supportive of at the time. I was like, he should step back and not run and support the Green Party and whoever they nominate and campaign for them, because you're not the guy. Like, at some point, you got to recognize you're not the one, and you need to, for whatever it is, age, talent, skill, appeal, whatever. And if you're trying to build something, you should step back and support whoever the party does think can do it better. If the goal is to build a party that can actually become a permanent kind of threat to the established order. But I don't see that. So it didn't feel like, it never felt like they ever moved to that. And it almost felt like, and feels like to me, that after Jill Stein and Ajamu's first run, or only run, I guess, together, that was the pinnacle of the more modern era of the, maybe, I don't know, getting close to that 5% threshold to get federal funding. They seem to be really headed in that direction. And I feel like Ajamu has done more, has found a way to build more effectively from that moment with Black Alliance for Peace than the Green Party was from that moment building their own party. And then here we are scrambling, or I'm still registered as Green, but they're scrambling yet again. I'm voting for Claudia and Karina at this point. I'm not even, so and then all this, so instead of building the party, building from within, starting 4 years in advance to find the future nominees, candidates, find a way to get them resources, maybe some training, some practice, and then really build it up, instead of, well, it's almost election time, let's find the biggest name that we can coerce to run on our ticket. It just doesn't seem to make any sense. I don't know.
All right. Well, remixers, y'all know what it is. It's the Remix Morning Show, Black Liberation Media. BLKLiberationMedia.org is the website. Thanks to all that that have already contributed and continue to support. Please go over to the Remix Morning Show YouTube channel, and subscribe over there so we can get remonetized in some way, you know what I'm saying, on YouTube. But for all that even are here offering the free support with your presence, that is beautiful. We thank you guys for joining us every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern here. We got Kamal, Jared, Kim, the ear doctor, and shout out to Sister Erica, who continues to laces with the laces of the news stories. Any particular direction y'all want to go? Because we got stories. I mean,
we got stories. And Erica has this one that kind of stays in the same lane and is kind of, you know, could be kind of quick and fun, or, you know, maybe, you know, Boyce Watkins, who's says wealth is power. Steve Harvey tells Black people to stop asking for something for their vote. This should be interesting.
Wow. Wow.
Steve Harvey. So let's check this out.
Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh.
Start calling my radio show and DMing me, talking about why you ain't asked no hard-hitting questions. That ain't what this is. I'm throwing a lob. This is an alley-oop for a dunk, because this administration needs to get the word out of what they're actually doing and what they're actually accomplishing, so we can stop all this foolishness about what you're doing for Black people. Can't nobody come out with no agenda and call it this for Black people and expect to get in the White House. You got to play the game different. Y'all know what this is. So now this next question is another lob for Honey Dunk. Because they done a lot, man. But we see, I'm on this radio show and I'm hearing all these people talking about, I'm not voting if they not doing nothing for us. Listen to me. If you do not vote, the analytics will show. They know how many women vote, they know the age you are when you vote. If we don't vote, how we gonna ask for something next time?
That's deep. That's the deep strategy.
So,
Vote now, and then next time.
but then next time it's going to be don't ask again, because then you still got to vote. So you never ask, of course. Why would you ask? Don't
See,
demand, ask, nothing.
it's purposeful. It's purposeful, y'all. Because you guys, you know, I feel a certain way about the syndication of the morning shows of urban radio, where you have a concentration, literally a handful of voices talking to millions upon millions of Black people. And I'm not shocked to hear that from Steve Harvey. I am surprised he was that overt with it. Like, I need Black people to stop talking about what they go. What else are we supposed to say? Like, but this was Ricky Smiley a week and a half ago on his morning show. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why everybody want to talk bad about Kamala. Oh, and he didn't say Kamala. I'm sorry. He did say Kamala. I say Kamala. But this insistence from these Black media personalities, I would also throw the Breakfast Club in there too, that, you know, we don't really need to be asking no tough questions. And, you know, we don't need to interrogate people's agendas. We don't have to interrogate their policies. Simply them being Black or being Black adjacent should be enough. And this is why our people are hoodwinked and led astray, everybody. It is no coincidence that Steve Harvey is the voice you hear in the morning, that Ricky Smiley is the voice you hear in the morning, that the Breakfast Club is the voice you hear in the morning, because they're just there to continue to placate you, right? In order to lull you to sleep into thinking that the Democrats are the solution to what our issues here, Black people's issues here, are in America. And they've not shown it. Like, I need the proof. If you're gonna back the Democrats, you got to run me some proof. You got to show me what has been achieved, what has been gained. When we look at what Black people have gotten or lost under Democratic leadership, it's usually losses of the material kind. And what makes you think Kamala's going to be any different? And it's just naive. It's very childish. It's so fucking politically immature to be like, oh, you know, we can't be asking no tough questions, and we, you know, people can't be asking what's she going to do for Black people. Why can't we ask that? Like, what is the problem with asking that? And so if we don't ask that and we still fork over our vote to Kamala with nothing expected in return, then what do we get? We just get to say, we get that picture of the first Black woman president being sworn in by the first Black woman Supreme Court justice. Is that good enough for y'all? I hope not.
I only add, I mean, and this shows the backwardness of American politics, where Again, the elite set the agenda, and you're expected to follow. Your causes, concerns, demands, asks, needs, wants, they don't give a damn. They don't give a fuck. In fact, you have some nerve even bringing it up to them. I mean, that's basically what the presentation we're getting is that how dare you ask us anything? You need to accept what's given to you. And again, go back and watch my TV shows, turn on my radio, buy that soap I'm selling you, and that's your life. And if you dare speak out otherwise or suggest something should be changed, then the problem isn't the system. The problem is that you didn't pull your pants up, or why didn't you go to school, or why didn't you do this, or why did you eat that, or why are you fat, or why are you black, or why are you big, or why are you small? The problem is everything and anything except for the system itself, which dominates our lives, takes resources, distributes back how it sees fit, and puts these buffoonish characters in our face to start to tell us how we should behave and act and do and the rest of it. So it's like you said, like this presentation, it's amazing that he's that open about it. But again, why not at this stage, right? Who's challenging it? Like what they got to hide for? You saw people in the audience, they clapped for it.
Oh my
They
God.
didn't. It wasn't like people were walking out in droves and being like, "What are you, crazy?" Of course we should be. He basically shut down people who had the nerve to suggest he should ask serious questions.
What's the context for this, by the way, in terms of what was that?
All I know was a Boyce Watkins tweet, and I'm honestly, I was trying to look through the tweets to see exactly, because I'm not sure if I think Boyce is showing this not to be supportive but to be critical and to suggest that in the black capitalist way that people should consider why they should vote for Trump. I'm not entirely sure of that. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't want to be mistaken here, or I might be mistaken here, but I think that's what his point was in sharing that. I don't think he was sharing that to be in agreement. I don't know
I think the larger thing is about she's basically stomping, she's making the rounds now.
Right. And that's why she was on Earn Your Leisure, who had been hosting Steve Harvey and inviting him to the Invest Fest and all of that to make this. She's making the rounds to target black people who will then tell the kids who end up in my classes, this is why Jared is wrong and we got to vote for Kamala. And if you look at it just quickly, you can see that it's just so easy to raise some of the criticisms. Why couldn't, for instance, Steve Harvey ask about why are you, Kamala, picking Biden's same economic advisors, both of whom have BlackRock backgrounds? Like why? That's
nice that you expect that kind of question from Steve Harvey.
It could be just questions that simply. But that's what it's clear that's what she's doing, and that's.
I have questions. Okay, Kamala's put out some policy suggestions. She wants to raise the federal minimum wage to what? To what? $8 an hour?
Yeah, right.
$10 an hour? Well,
$7.99.
You know what I'm saying? No taxes on tips. I mean, fuck. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be cussing, but I do mean to be cussing. But I mean, because all this makes me cuss. I can't. I feel bad, you guys. I feel like we're gonna lose family members, friends, colleagues. No, we're not gonna get spoken to the day after election day if the shit don't go in Kamala's direction. Like, this is not cute for us, for black folks at all. And it's meant to be, I suppose, some sort of rallying cry. We got to get behind this black woman. No, the fuck we do not. This black woman is not behind us unless she got her prosecutorial weaponized against directing us to jail. Which I was
gonna say, she's behind us. We got our hands in cuffs and she's walking us into the cell. That's why she's behind us.
That is correct. Yeah. Oh my God, this is terrifying.
No, this is another moment of clarity around how media and obviously corporations, the Democratic Party structure, but how this all works to turn again Kamala from this kind of like nobody knows who, people know her name, nobody knows much about her. She's not significant within the administration, right? She's given some side projects, but she's not out front in terms of the administration. She played a particular role. again, prior to this, when she ran for president, really didn't get much votes, if any votes whatsoever, was not considered a serious candidate. Black folks didn't support her. Black folks didn't like go behind her and rah, rah, rah. We're going to dump Biden or not do him. We're going to go for her. From basically 4 weeks ago, 4 to 5 weeks. You know what I mean? Like this machine, the same machine that turned Obama into Obama is now turning Kamala into Kamala, where she's this you must vote for this person for all the reasons of saving democracy, but all the Black, Indian first, woman first. All of a sudden now we're talking about her laugh and personality and charisma, which has never been mentioned in the same sentence before the last 6 weeks. But all of a sudden you see these things talked about with her. The fawning articles about who she is. All of this manufactured consent in the last 6 weeks. Again, a perfect media study.
Her joy.
Her joy. A perfect media study in how you turn and also ran into a now not only a leading from the polls, the leading candidate for president, just like that. That's the power of media. That's the power of money, right there.
Wow. Hey, so Sounds of St. Elsewhere is saying that we should have checked out Roland Martin's live stream of the Black Caucus at the DNC. Has anybody seen that? I'm tempted to break out the Uncle Nearest and
pull that up.
You know,
Somebody find the
but
link. Let's watch
if there's
it
some
as a family.
clips, I need somebody to distill that for me.
That
I don't know if
like
I
a
can.
Patreon thing right there.
It does sound like a Patreon thing, but involves like some more damage to my liver too, because I just don't know. That's a lot.
Wow. Oh man,
That's a lot to ask for right there. But I am tempted. It is tempting. Yeah.
No, this is very ugly. And again, when it comes to the continued atrocities in Gaza, Kamala is on the side. She is on the side of Israel, whether or not Israel pulls the United States into, or fuck just the United States, but pulls the region into a hot battle, hot war. I don't know. I mean, we do know. We know exactly what Kamala's going to do. She's going to send all resources to Israel, send everything to Ukraine to try to keep a check on Putin or whatever the fuck. And she's just a continuation of the American war machine. Like, I'm sorry, why you have to explain to me why that's something I need to vote for? Like, what piece of that benefits me? You know what I'm saying? It just goes to further exploit our folks and other marginalized people across the globe. Like, she's just gonna that Septimus Severus, except make it woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't dig it.
September. So shout out to Hayru, the poet, who did that great Severus poem about Obama back in the day that got me in a lot of hot water with my PFW listening audience, that we're not ready for that. But speaking of Black leadership, just real quick, Kamau, you lucky you're not going to, or not there yet, at least, because the Black man in charge of securing Chicago's the top cop. The Black top cop said, "We're not going to allow you to riot." DNC protesters warned by Chicago's top cop, "We're not going to allow you to riot." Larry Snelling, the Black top cop in charge of Chicago and the DNC security, is just letting you know, protesting and rioting are two different things. You have the right to protest, but there will be no rioting tolerated. Snelling added as the business leaders and elected officials in the crowd began to applaud. I wish I had written that. I wish I was ad-libbing that. Oh man, that's beautiful.
I know. I was like, exactly. Who else would be applauding that?
Some of the businesses, they said they boarded up their shit.
Yep.
Good. Yeah.
Okay. But you
They
know,
should be boarding up their shit. Yeah, I think actually
according
took
to top Black
out.
cop.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, I think, and again, whether pre-planned months in advance or something that they felt they had to finally deal with, I think that was the other thing that replacing Joe Biden did for them, is that they took some of the steam out of the anger, particularly directed towards Biden. And again, even though Kamala has come out and said almost every exact thing that Biden has said, there are those who supposedly are to her left who are trying to open up space to suggest that she's, again, empathetic, willing to listen. She's called for a ceasefire. And it doesn't matter what she says. It doesn't matter, again, what her following statements are when someone suggests that she should be conducting an arms embargo or having an arms embargo. It doesn't matter when she comes out right afterwards and say, oh, hell no, we're not doing that. Some of these folks are there to give her that space needed. And it's taken a little bit out of the sting. So at least, again, you can never believe some of these reports from some of the media outlets, but they're suggesting that the turnout wasn't as high as they thought it would be if Biden was still running. And so all this stuff is playing into this downhill race to sort of sweep away Joe Biden as this figure who has now decided to lovingly pass on the baton when Biden was fighting tooth and nails and had to get pushed the fuck out before they got Kamala in there. But all of this is very interesting in terms of how it works, and of course, who else would be applauding but the public officials and the business class is like, what? You're not going to allow no rioting? Then we glad you. Thank you for doing that work for us. Thank you. Our money is well spent again. Thank you. And here's a cop city. And here's a cop
That's
city.
what the police are there to do.
Yeah.
Yep. So speaking of what folks are here to do, ear doctor.
Yo, what's wild is I sit back and look at this whole what? What? I just sit back and look at this whole election and then look at it like, you know what? If Kamala gets in, we're gonna be divided as a people. If Trump, because it seems like from a distance, it's like we're constantly Democratic bashing. But it seems like if Trump gets in, then we'll come together as a people and be like, we're not going to have this. We're not going to stand for the stuff you're doing. But Kamala is like a level of comfortability. Like if we get the Democrats in and we're comfortable, we feel cool. But once we get, if Trump wins, then maybe we're going to have to fight against the system. Oh, no.
So you're saying from 2016 to 2020, Black America had experienced a level of unity that we had not seen previously?
I think that maybe Trump getting in will possibly make us be like, yo, we not going for it.
Because remember, he's been elected already. We've seen this
true.
before.
Yeah, we've survived them once already. I know there's a lot of people who are coming out with a lot of things about what will happen, whether Trump wins or loses. In terms of what's going to happen with the country or whatever like that. I'm not exactly there yet in terms of everything's falling apart, grab your guns and everything. But I'm also getting prepared just in case. But I'm not exactly there yet. But again, I think that's one of the biggest Democrat talking points is, is like, if Trump gets in, then think what he's going to do to all of us per se. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the biggest talking point. And I don't think that, if she gets in, I don't think we're divided. I think there's some of us. Mm-hmm. But I think that at this stage, it's hard to say. But I think we clearly have to, the Black population is more captured than ever into the Democratic Party. And then she gets in, people will be celebrating again, like we did in 2000, people did in 2008. When Obama got in. In fact, Obama was the great consolidation of Black people back into the Democratic Party. I remember I was reading stories up until 2 or 3 years before that, not around how Black folks were going to the Republican Party, but how Black folks were not voting as much, how folks were feeling a certain way about the established political order, just a sense of malaise in terms of process and taking part in that system. And the Democrats, at least a segment of the Democratic machine said, oh, hell no, we want that or need that constituency. We don't want its opinion. We don't want it to demand anything. We don't want it to tell us anything that it needs or desires. We don't want it to ask any hard questions. But what can we do to re-energize part of that population? And I think that Obama was an answer to that. And has since, again, being reduplicated here when the folks were saying, and again, I don't really believe these stats that much either, but that Black folks were inching towards Trump. Well, this is the perfect solution. You put somebody who's almost kind of Black up there, and then you dare other black folks to basically pull the other black folks back in. You gonna vote for Trump when there's this black woman winning? So
To me, Trump is the real danger if he loses, not so much if he wins, right? We know what to expect from him if he wins. We do not know what to expect if he loses. Okay. And we've already seen that he has the ability to mass at minimum thousands. Think of the people that couldn't get off work to get to January 6th. You understand? Like, and they're gonna make themselves available to be some sort of MAGA army. I've been talking about this on my show. The white supremacists, the Patriot Front, who have been openly marching through the streets of downtown Nashville, Tennessee, amongst other places, but they have showed up in Nashville and in Tennessee quite a bit. The real concern is if Trump loses, what are these whites going to do? And these racist whites, that is. And I think we know exactly what they're going to do. What have they always done? What have they forefathers and mothers done when shit does not go their way politically, right? They get violent. And that is what I think we need to be anticipating more so than whatever fake fascism, or I'm sorry, maybe not fake. It's not fake fascism that Trump would usher in, but the not really different fascism than what we currently have. If Trump wins, I think we need to be more concerned what happens if he loses.
Okay. All right. I guess we could take how many? We got about 10 minutes left or less. All right, I guess we can take a quick break and come back real quick and hit you on the head. We do a real quick break.
Or
right
why
here.
don't we just keep going and then you close us out with a mix?
I like that even better. See,
I feel like you owe us anyway.
Wow.
No,
I mean,
it's a treat. We want the treat, man.
Okay. I'll give you all the treat. Don't forget to tune in Sundays at 8 p.m. Get a whole big meal.
Hey, I tuned in a little bit on Sundays. You had that Atlanta set jamming, my guy. You went
Thank
out
you.
to Killer Mike to Gladys Knight. I said, this nigga is noise with this shit.
Which Killer Mike track did you play where he was dissing me and us?
Oh no, I played
shit talking track.
Yeah, I think he got other songs, Jared.
Yeah, Ric Flair.
I know. That's why I'm asking which ones he played, Kim, and I wanted to know if he played the one that was calling us out. That's what I like that. I like getting this track.
It was
legend.
early Killer Mike. What was it? Ric Flair. Yeah. All right, so where we going?
What was the one that Reagan was on?
That was one. It was called Reagan.
That's the one? Okay. Oops. That was the name of the whole album?
No, that was the name of the song.
The song. Okay. Yeah. That's what I said. Which album? I meant to say which album was Reagan on?
Well, you say you meant to, but you didn't.
Oh, get off the screen.
A strategic voting town.
The full moon got everybody a little testy. Everybody be easy out there. Cosmic energy. You know what I'm saying? You see people a little bit on edge. That moon, that super blue moon was just out here, and it, so better keep that in mind.
So, Jad, I don't know if this is what you was talking about, but a day ago, what they put up is a strategic voting town hall moderated by Roland Martin. This might be something slightly different, but I thought the early scenes that I saw might be worth looking at for a few seconds or whatever.
Sure.
Y'all want to check it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So there's and now. Ooh, Sharpton.
Oh my.
Ooh, wow.
They outside.
We got the banquet hall. It's going to all start up.
Can I just make an observation?
Yes.
Rolly has been using that same picture. I'ma say about 15 years. It's the same. I'm like, my brother, your hairline ain't in the same place no more, my guy. Anyway, I'm sorry. Just an observation, not a diss, just an observation.
All right, let's look at this beautiful opening segment that was put together. We need this kind of video production. Look at the waters parting and shit.
Hey man, we need that Coca-Cola sponsorship.
Oh my
I know, get that Pepsi money that Roland get.
Look at this church.
They got a balcony. Oh, praise dancers.
Oh.
Died that he might save your life.
Oh wow.
Like
Jesus unit.
Hallelujah.
Use Ownerly.com for home value estimates.
YouTube.
Ever wonder how much your neighbor's house is worth?
Ownerly.com.
Put it on mute while that happens. There we go.
Again, I'm thankful for each and every one of you who are here on tonight.
Strategic voting.
God has been
Vote
good
for Kamala. That's the strategy.
There you go. There's your man. Here's your man.
Wow.
I don't know how we supposed to get. Well, anyway, I'm just gonna walk over here. All right.
He
Just
stayed.
step
He
on
got the
over.
fly outfits
he
though,
do, he
man.
do.
Chicago, how y'all doing?
It's nice. I agree. Because he's a big
Glad
man,
to
it
be
fits him
back
well. He
here.
knows how to wear it.
I, of course, spent 6 years here, WVON Radio, running the Chicago Defender. So it is good to be back to seeing everyone here for this fantastic conversation. And so we're going to get this thing started. So let's go ahead and bring out all of our panelists right now.
Who are the
We got
panelists? Who's on the
a
panel?
great lineup of folks, and so they got some great things to say.
Sharpton's
And
on
so we're gonna make sure that we don't
He's the only one I
actually bore you. If
recognize,
any of
I think.
y'all watch Roland Martin Unfiltered, Black Star Network, y'all know we don't.
there. Okay, I don't need
I'm
you.
about to say we about to
Because
watch
Bishop
this.
Brazier allowed it, I will allow a Kappa to be on this panel. Rufus Williams,
I don't know who
you
Rufus
just sort of
is.
step in, and your presence says, "I need you to be quiet," so we can move on. Let's go ahead and get this thing started.
Nice.
Significant black turnout in 2008, yet in all of the subsequent elections, we're seeing black turnout drop since the initial election of President Obama in 2008. But we're also
Because niggas
seeing
smartened
big
up.
changes demographic-wise, where you have voters who really under the age of 55 who don't. A little low. Hold on. Matt, hold on 1 second.
Man, we
they
need
plug
to
you
use,
back in.
We need to use Jackie to get in the
'cause
church.
we were talking backstage, and so I don't believe in that thing where they say, "Oh, we'll have a microphone off." No, we don't trust that. So the best way to have no hot mic situation is unplug the microphone.
What are we watching here?
Are you good now?
Yeah, that's it. Listen, all right.
We'll find some clips.
Okay,
right.
hold on. Unplug. Go ahead. We can keep
Just the
going.
first couple of Sharpton comments, and we'll go.
But not gonna happen.
Damn, his mic ain't on.
Nobody needs you to produce the Roland Martin show, my nigga.
Yeah. All right. Where is Jeremiah right on the panel? Where is he at?
No,
I don't
you're
think he
right,
was
brother.
doing so well last I heard, right? I thought he was.
He's still with us, though, right?
Yeah. But I don't think he was well enough to be. And I don't think would they let him anywhere near any of this at this
Hell
point?
no, they would
need to
not.
go to him,
Even though they
because
can't. Yeah, they won't let him near that.
No, we need to go to him. I would love to hear Reverend Wright's comments about about this election and the would-be Democratic nominee.
Man, if we trying to spend, we need to get Jackie to get us into these churches.
Jackie almost.
Was
she
trying-
almost
To do what, baby? To do what?
To talk to the people.
I was trying to get Lucretia to start a Sunday morning Patreon sermon
There it is.
service. We working on that. I'm gonna come back to that idea when she says she has more time. I think that's what I'm looking for. Get some church on
I'm
the
telling
channel.
you. Now you talking about collection. Yeah.
I know, but y'all is heathens, though. I mean, excluding Lucretia and Jacqueline, I might even throw myself in there. I believe I am covered
Weren't
under
you
the
a
blood.
If they can have a John Coltrane church, we can't have a heathen church.
The John
Because
Coltrane church was crap.
it's an oxymoron, baby. A heathen church?
The
Yeah.
John Coltrane
Yeah.
church was fat. That was a beautiful church.
It's a congregation.
Yeah.
Let's turn Black Liberation Media into a church and get that tax exempt status.
There it
You
is.
just all put on
Hey,
some
Now you
collars.
talking.
I mean,
They
while we
played jazz. It was
scamming,
hot
I mean,
jazz.
if we go scam, then that's scam. Yes, do
Everybody
the
is
scam.
Hey, a DJ in the church, a go-go band.
Oh, what?
Listen, we can
Yes.
bring it, y'all. Y'all playing.
And
There is
we got
go-go
some
gospel.
preachers. We got Pastor LJ. We got Bishop Jackie. You know what I'm saying? We can get
And
in
Deacon Diallo.
Clergy Canal. Clergy Canal.
Clergy come out.
Yeah. I can give a sermon.
Now you can. Now Kamal, you got the pastor cadence. Like anytime you decided to fake believe in Jesus, like you could get it, Shawty.
Oh, yes.
She can get. She said
Me
he
and the
can get it.
Lord.
All right. Well, it's time to get out of here, y'all.
Yeah, doctor, just shut up,
So
man.
much.
Oh, you caught that?
I caught it too. I'm trying to
didn't.
rehabilitate. I'm just trying to rehabilitate. That's all.
What is it that he can get?
Just throw it in.
All right. Well, listen, we be back here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. with some more Remix Morning Show. So make sure y'all tune in, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as you see at the bottom of the screen, go to donate at Black Liberation Media. That's spelled with a BLK.org.
Hey,
All right.
come on, join me tonight. Burn It Down with Kim Brown, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We've got some crooked cops to talk about. We've got a couple of there's a domestic situation that happened here in the DMV area that I want to discuss. So I would appreciate y'all coming and join me tonight. Burn It Down with Kim Brown, 7 p.m. Please subscribe.
Right.
Thank you.
JB, what you got coming?
Oh, I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know. But I got some stuff. Check out I Mix What I Like as well. I did the discussion of the false prophets of Prophet, Erica's article. We got some other thing coming through. I don't know. Just make sure you have the bell rung and you're subscribed in all these spaces. And we're working on what's coming up on EYL this week and Saturdays and all that. We will,
All right. And check out that weekly rewind if you didn't
That's
catch
right.
the shows. Catch the weekly rewind. We'll be doing it every week. So, all right, here we go. Let's get out of here right here on the Remix Morning Show. Let's go.
Conversation going round. People talking about the girls come to town. Lovely ladies,
hey,
pretty as can be. No one knows her name, she's just a mystery. I have seen her maybe once or twice. One thing I can say, ooh, she's very nice. She's the lady.
We out of here, y'all.
I really want